In the beginning, God created a garden, a perfect paradise. This garden, known as Eden, was more than just a lush oasis teeming with life. It was a divine masterpiece, a testament to the Creator's boundless imagination and love. Every tree bore succulent fruits, every flower bloomed with unmatched beauty, and every creature lived in harmony. The air was ripe with the scent of life, and the gentle rustle of leaves echoed the songs of creation. In this paradise, the first humans were born. Adam and Eve, crafted in the image of the Creator, were the crowning glory of all creation. They were given dominion over the earth and all its creatures, a responsibility to steward and care for this paradise. Their hearts were pure, their spirits were free, and their bond with their Creator was unbroken. But Eden was more than just a paradise. It was a realm where free will blossomed and choice was born. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, did not create Adam and Eve as puppets to dance on the strings of His will. No, He created them with the freedom to choose, to make decisions that would steer the course of their lives. Among the myriad trees in Eden, two stood out: the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God commanded Adam and Eve not to eat from the latter, marking the birth of moral choice. This command, simple yet profound, presented the first humans with their first choice: to obey and live in harmony with their Creator, or to disobey and face the unknown consequences. Yet, in the midst of Eden's beauty, a pivotal choice unfolded, shaping the destiny of humanity. This choice, made in the tranquility of the garden, would echo through the annals of time, influencing generations to come. It was the Genesis secret, the beginning of a story that encapsulates the essence of our human journey. A story of choices and consequences, of grace and redemption, a story that we continue to live and experience every day. Genesis 2:16-17 outlines God's command to Adam and Eve, presenting them with a choice that echoes through generations. This moment, nestled in the heart of paradise, reveals a profound truth about the human experience. In this perfect garden, God planted the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, setting the stage for the first monumental decision humanity would ever face. But let's consider something pivotal. God did not make the choice for them. Instead, He outlined the parameters, the boundaries within which they could freely explore, thrive, and make their own decisions. This act of divine trust is not only about Adam and Eve, it's about us. It's about the choices we face every day, the decisions we make that shape our lives and our faith. Just as Adam and Eve stood before the tree, we stand before our own trees of choice, our own moments of decision. We have the freedom to choose our paths, to determine our actions, and to craft our narratives. Yet, with this freedom comes responsibility. The choices we make can lead us closer to our divine purpose or steer us away from it. But here's the remarkable thing. No matter our choices, God remains with us. He doesn't abandon us to our decisions. Instead, He walks with us, guiding us, offering wisdom and grace even when we stumble. This is the heart of the Genesis story, the freedom to choose and the grace that follows. It's a tale as old as time, yet as relevant as the choices we make today. So, as we navigate our own gardens of choices, let's remember the lessons of Genesis. Let's remember that our choices matter, that they echo through our lives and our faith. But let's also remember that we're not alone, that in every choice, in every moment, God is with us, guiding us towards His purpose. The garden symbolizes the choices we all face in our journey of faith. So, what choices are you facing today? And how will you choose to navigate your garden of choices? In Genesis 3, we encounter the serpent's cunning temptation and Eve's decision to eat from the forbidden tree. Imagine the scene. The garden, a paradise of tranquility and beauty, suddenly becomes a stage for one of the most significant moments in humanity's narrative. There, amidst the lush foliage and rippling streams, enters the serpent, an embodiment of cunning and deceit. The serpent slithers towards Eve, the first woman, with a tempting proposition, a question that would alter the course of mankind. Did God really say, "You must not eat from any tree in the garden?" He asks, planting the seed of doubt. Eve, in her innocence, responds by clarifying God's command. We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, "You must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." The serpent, seizing this opportunity, counters with a lie. "You will not certainly die," he asserts, "for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. And thus, the temptation takes root. Eve, swayed by the serpent's words, makes the fateful decision to eat from the forbidden tree. She also gives some to her husband Adam, who was with her, and he eats too. In that moment, their eyes are opened, and they become aware of their nakedness, marking the end of their innocence. This narrative isn't just a tale from ancient times, but a timeless truth about choices and their consequences. Eve's decision to eat from the tree, influenced by the serpent's deception, led to the fall of mankind, introducing sin and death into the world. But beyond the immediate consequence, this story reminds us of a deeper truth, that every choice we make, whether big or small, has an impact. And sometimes, those choices can alter the course of not just our lives, but the lives of those around us. Choices have consequences, and this moment marks the turning point in the human story. As consequences unfold, Genesis 3:22 reveals God's response. As we delve into this scene, let's remember that every choice, every decision we make, carries with it the weight of consequence. In the story of Adam and Eve, the consequence of their choice was expulsion from the Garden of Eden, from the paradise that had been their home. But even in this moment, as they faced the reality of their actions, God's response was not one of mere punishment, but of grace and mercy. God's words in Genesis 3:22, "Behold, the man has become like one of us in knowing good and evil," are a poignant reflection of the profound change in human nature that resulted from Adam and Eve's choice. They had gained knowledge, yes, but they had lost innocence. Yet even as they faced this reality, God did not abandon them. He made garments of skins for them, a tangible expression of his care and concern, despite their disobedience. He still saw them, not as irredeemable sinners, but as his beloved creation. The story of Adam and Eve is not just about a choice and its consequences. It's about a God who, in the face of our failures, extends mercy and grace. It's about a God who, even when we fall short, continues to love us, to care for us, to walk with us. This scene from the Genesis story is a powerful reminder that even when we face the consequences of our choices, we are not alone. God is there. He is present in our struggles, in our pain, in our regret. And his response is not one of condemnation, but of compassion and grace. As we navigate the journey of faith, let's remember that our choices matter, that they have consequences. But let's also remember that God's grace is bigger than our mistakes, that his mercy extends even to our shortcomings. The story of Adam and Eve reminds us that our Creator extends mercy even in our shortcomings. As we conclude our exploration of unlocking the Genesis secret, reflect on your own choices. We've journeyed through the garden of choices, the temptation and decision, and now we stand at the precipice of reflection. The story of Adam and Eve isn't just an ancient tale, it's a mirror reflecting our own narratives. Think about the choices you've made in your life, the big ones that felt like standing at the edge of a precipice, the small ones that seemed insignificant but rippled out in ways you could never have anticipated. Each choice, a step on the path of your life, each consequence, a landmark on your journey. The story of Adam and Eve may seem far removed from our modern world, but the themes it carries, choices and consequences, are ever present. Every day, we stand in our own gardens of choices, faced with decisions that shape our lives. But remember, choices are not just about the immediate consequences we face. They're also about the lessons we learn, the growth we experience, and the wisdom we gain. In the face of consequences, we find our strength, our resilience, our capacity for grace. The story of Adam and Eve reminds us that we're not alone in our journey. Through their story, we see a reflection of our own experiences, our own choices, our own consequences. And through their story, we see God's enduring presence. Our choices and their consequences shape us, mold us, and guide us on our paths. They are the stepping stones on our journey of faith. And while we may stumble, while we may fall, we do not walk this path alone. Just as God continued to walk with Adam and Eve, he walks with us through our journey of consequences and redemption. So, as you navigate your garden of choices, remember this: God is with you, guiding you, supporting you, and loving you.